guys up, it is Taylor here, and today we're going to be talking about why you shouldn't impulse buy animals. I had another video that I planned doing, but it kind of fell through at the last second. Things didn't work out how they're supposed to, and so I need to refilm it and do something else with it. But I've been talking about some of these things on my live stream, and I know a lot of people don't watch my live streams, so I thought I'd talk about them on here. So pretty much this is just my experiences on being a little kid and just getting animals because I thought they were cute. I had no clue what the pet community was, and I think this will maybe shed some light on things. Being as a lot of parents buy their kids animals just because they want them, or kids get animals just because they think they're cute. So when I was little, I had a bunch of hamsters, not at the same time, but I had probably about 3 hamsters in my childhood. I had one named Star, one named Jackson, and one named Harry. I ended up being allergic to hamsters, not hamsters really in general, but fur in general. I get allergies to different types of dogs and different little furry creatures, so that's why you probably won't really see furry animals on my channels that much because, this will happen. Hamsters are just animals that people get because they think, oh, they're easy, they don't need that much. If you've seen different pet tubers videos and on hamsters in general, you know they need way more than what you just buy in the pet store. And the first hamster I had, its name was Star. And my sister got a hamster as well. We got them for Christmas. And I was probably about, I want to say 6 or 7 at this age. And we had them in a, I'll try and put a picture up on the screen, but it was just one of those metal cages. I don't even know how many square inches it was. It had the tubes. It's just one of those hamster cages that you're just oh, that's really cool, they can go in this, they can do that. It's just not what they need at all. It had maybe a tiny little igloo in it and a food bowl with just some random mix. And that was about it. No wheel, no little chew toys, literally nothing. Yeah, and they ended up just getting sick. I'm pretty sure it was a dwarf hamster. Don't quote me on this because, yes, I know a little bit about hamsters now, but I didn't back then. I'm not really the type of person to know much about hamsters because I do not have one, I do not plan on getting one, so I don't really know much about them. Next hamster I had, pretty sure it was another dwarf hamster. He was all white and his name was Jackson, and this is the one I got allergic to and just kind of blossomed my allergies. I was probably about 8 or 9 when I got him. He was so mean. I didn't hand tame him, nothing. I wanted to play with him. And if you know hamsters that much, you have to hand tame them, you have to earn their trust, and it's just, they shouldn't be kids' pets. And he'd bite me every time I went to pick him up, so I used to pick him up with a cloth so I wouldn't get bitten. He was also another metal cage. I don't even know if they make this anymore, this certain cage, but this cage is just awful. I'll try and find another picture or one of them similar to it. He was kind of up against my wall, and he ended up chewing my curtains. So I had a bunch of little holes and stuff in my curtains from chew marks, which I'm guessing that isn't pretty good for him, that he ate my curtains. I had maybe a little igloo again, no chew toys, food, and I had that fluff. I don't even know what it's called, but it's kind of cloud fluffy stuff that you're supposed to put in the igloo and supposed to keep them warm. But little did I know that it can cause impaction and do more harm than good. But that's what I was told by my mom. My mom doesn't know anything about hamsters, and a lot of people don't. And I wish I knew back then that that stuff wasn't good. I could have put so much more in the tank. Oh, not to mention that the substrate in any of these tanks were never more than an inch. Carefresh bedding in there, maybe about an inch, and that's about it. Nobody told me that this was wrong because they're such misunderstood animals. And now we'll go on to my next hamster. His name was Harry. I'm trying to think of what kind of hamster he was. I think he was maybe a Syrian. Yeah, if I had to say, I'd say he was a Syrian. So he was a big hamster. He was very fluffy. He was tan. I probably have a picture of him that I'll put on the screen, but he was so cute and I absolutely loved him. So when I got Harry, I was probably in 5th or 6th grade at this point. So I was a little bit older at this age, but I still loved animals, as I do now. But again, I didn't do research or anything. I had him in a 10-gallon aquarium. He's either a 10 or 20, but my guess, it's probably a 10-gallon tank. Inch of substrate, as usual. I keep talking like it's a Costco. An inch of like bedding, like Carefresh bedding. I had the igloo in there with the fluff, no wheel, anything. We had the food in a little dish. But you know how Syrian hamsters, they're probably about like this big? He was about that big, but his stomach from the side was about this big as well. It looked like he had tumors in his stomach, and I really didn't know what happened to him. He ended up passing away. So I had 3 hamsters during my childhood. You know, I wish I could have gone back and actually looked up information, found like a community like this that like would have taught me, because I know there's a lot of people nowadays that are part of this little community of learning about pets, and they now know like what you need for hamster. There's care guides for pretty much anything out there. There's tank setups, and I wish I just would have known, and maybe I could have done better to those hamsters. Next, I had hermit crabs. I had hermit crabs probably 4th grade, so about like 9. So this is the same time I'm pretty sure I had Jackson still, my hamster, my second hamster. And so I had hermit crabs, and I also had fish. And the goldfish were for my neighbors, because my neighbor had goldfish and they had babies. So I had 3 goldfish. No, actually, I think I had 4, and one of them died very quickly. I had my goldfish, and I'd want to say maybe a 5-gallon hexagon tank kind of thing. It was, I'll try and put a picture on. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like in a hexagon shape. I had a little plant decoration thingy in there where they can swim in and out of. I had little gravel pieces on the ground. Oh, and the gravel was from the craft store. So it probably had little, like, sharp edges on it, but I put it in my fish tank. The tank was from my neighbor that they had, like, an extra one. And they gave me a filter with it, but I didn't use the filter. I just let the water get dirty, and I probably changed the water like every 2 months. 3 fish in a 5-gallon tank. And I was always told they could live in that tank forever, because fish only grow to the size of their tank and what they're being kept in. But that's not true with any animals. They will take up as much space as they want in any tank you're giving them. And sometimes it causes stunted growth in fish or just different reptiles, because they can't grow anymore because they don't have enough space to. So this next part is pretty much just me talking about how I got into like wanting a hermit crab. The hermit crabs I'm talking about in the previous thing are the 2 that I get after this whole situation starts. And at the time, I still had hermit crabs. And one day I went to the beach and I found a bunch of hermit crabs. I'd probably say 20. I was like, oh, I want to take these home. And my aunt was like, okay, yeah, why not? I took 20 hermit crabs out of the wild and brought them back to my house. And I went out and I bought a maybe medium-sized critter keeper, and I put them all in there. I thought that they were regular hermit crabs, but they weren't. They're saltwater hermit crabs that live in the water, but I thought they were land hermit crabs. So I didn't put 1 ounce of water in there, especially not salt water. And so I woke up the next morning, they were all dead. I just killed 20 hermit crabs, and I was so upset. I was upset that they died. Not that I didn't care for them well. First of all, they're in a medium critter keeper, and you took them out of the wild and put them in captivity with some pieces of gravel on the bottom, a little bit of food maybe from the store, just little pellets, and a sponge with fresh water in it. Not salt water, and they all died. So first off, never take animals out of their natural environment. Make sure you get the right cage size. If I had 20 hermit crabs, I would need a way bigger tank than a medium critter keeper. People usually have 2 hermit crabs, a 40-gallon breeder, 6 inches of substrate, salt and fresh water, vegetables. Yeah, that happened. What did I do that same day? My aunt felt so bad that she took me to the pet store and I got 2 new hermit crabs from the little place. And they had painted shells, and, you know, I picked them. I forget one of the names. I remember one was Lewis, and I don't remember the other one's name. I put them in that critter keeper that the same 20 had died in after I got rid of them. I gave them that sponge, the same little pellet food, and they had pink sand on the bottom, and that was it. They lived in that medium critter keeper for a few months. 2 of them fell out of their shell, and so I thought, oh, they're dead. So I threw them out, and I didn't think anything of it. I thought, oh, I'm so sad my hermit crabs died. Years later, when I joined this little community and I learned about hermit crabs and hermit crab care, I realized what I had done. I realized that so many people do that, but many times when you're throwing out your hermit crab because they've fallen out of their shell, it means that they're going into molt and they're molting. They're not dying, they're not dead. So you just threw out a hermit crab that was alive. And lastly, we're going to talk about bettas. This is one of the most misunderstood pets of all time because people think bettas can live in a small little vase or bowl. I had so many bettas in my lifetime. I think I got them for Christmas one year. That was the first time I ever got bettas. I had them in a split tank, each side probably a gallon or less. 2 fish in a split tank. They ended up dying, not a surprise. Several years after that, I kept continuing. I probably had 3 or 4 betta fish in my childhood, and I kept them in a small little bowl that you get from the dollar store with little rocks. If you know anything about bettas, which I've done so much research on bettas since then, that was the first animal I ever researched when I got into the pet community. That and crested geckos. I have a 10-page essay thing that I wrote on betta fish. I will show it on the screen because I wrote it out because once you have a lot of information in your head, you just want to write it all down. And if I was ever to get a betta fish, I'd always want this. Instead of a little tiny bowl, the betta fish that I had should have been in a 2.5 gallon or more tank. They should have had little plants, gravel, should have had a filter, a heater, and I should have done better. So I want to say I am sorry to all of the pets that I treated wrong when I was younger. To think that that's happening to so many more pets nowadays and when I was younger. And I felt like I needed to talk about it because animals deserve better. They don't deserve to be put in awful setups and treated badly. I loved animals growing up and I thought what I was doing was good, but it ended up not being good for them. And they ended up passing away, as many animals do. But I wish before they had passed, I would have given them the best life that I could have. And I hope that if there's anyone out there watching, that you don't make the same mistakes that I did, whether it be a parent buying their kid an animal or a kid wanting certain animal. Please do your research and please try to give an animal the best life that they could possibly have, because animals don't live as long as humans do. We have a lifetime to fix our mistakes, but most animals don't have a lifetime. Fish only have ever so long, hamsters only have ever so long, reptiles have only so long. Just make sure you know what you're doing before you get an animal. I don't mind if you hate on me and tell me what I did was wrong, because I know it was wrong. I just wanted to express everything that I did when I was younger to help some people out. I talk about my crested gecko. I help people out with animals. I love spreading information about animals to other people and helping people out. So I thought this could be a way to help some people out. As many times I could say I didn't know any better, I should have known better. And I hope that everyone makes better choices when it comes to animals and animal care. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much. Make sure you like and subscribe for more videos just like this one. If you have any questions, comments, concern, video requests, let me know down in the comments below. Bye.